The Reachover set of radiological personal protective equipment, or PPE, is intended for reachover activities, where the workers make partial body entries into contamination areas, or CA, such as in fume hoods, glove boxes, and benchtop contamination areas. Pre-donning activities. Before donning the radiological PPE, the worker must do 4 things. 1. Verify they have the proper dosimetry, OSL and electronic dosimeter. 2. Select the radiological PPE per the RWP requirements. 3. Inspect the PPE for tears, holes, unsewn seams, or other defects that would compromise the PPE. And 4. Prepare the tape tabs. Donning a reachover set of PPE. Once the pre-donning activities are complete, it is time to don the PPE. The worker first dons the lab coat, cloth or disposable, and buttons or snaps the front closed, using all buttons or snaps. Note, the use of cotton glove liners is optional but is recommended, as they add to the wearer's comfort by absorbing perspiration. Glove liners are not considered PPE. Next, the worker dons the vet gloves and tabs the glove with tape at the shoulder to hold them up while working. A smaller tape tab will make it easier to doff the gloves at completion of the work. Having the tape tabs prepared in advance is helpful because the tape is difficult to work with while wearing vet or surgical gloves. Third, the worker then dons the outer set of gloves. The outer gloves are not taped, making it easier to change the outer gloves as needed during the job. The worker in this scenario is performing work in a fume hood and follows the prescribed fume hood entry requirements. Next, the worker checks the portable frisking instruments to ensure 1. They are on, 2. The audio is on, 3. They are on the proper scale, 4. That they are within current calibration, 5. They have been source and operationally checked, and 6. That the probe is facing up to allow frisking without picking up the probe. The worker then checks the radiological waste can to ensure there is room for additional radiological waste. In this scenario, the worker is using a fume hood, but a reachover set of PPE may also be used for a partial body entry into other radiologically controlled areas. Always read and comply with radiological control postings and ask radiological control personnel if you are unsure of the entry requirements. Performing reachover radiological work. The worker makes a partial body entry, hands and forearms, into the fume hood to perform work. While working in a CA, it is important that the worker never removes his or her hands with contaminated outer gloves from the CA boundary without doffing the PPE. Doffing the PPE. At work completion, the worker will doff the outer gloves and vet gloves while maintaining the hands and forearms inside the CA boundary. By grasping the vet gloves near the wrist, pulling down and away to release the tape tab on the shoulder, and sliding the vet gloves down the arm and towards the wrist. The vet gloves are inverted over the outer glove to contain any contamination, removed from the fume hood and disposed of in the radiological waste can or bag. Glove liners, if worn, are then removed and disposed of. Post-work survey requirements. After doffing the gloves, the worker will perform a frisk of the hands, arms, and front of the upper body. Prior to exiting a radiological buffer area, a whole body survey is required.